Hello and welcome to SUTV News. I'm Steven Stroh-Snyder. Our top story today, Shenandoah students are back. Spring break wrapped up this weekend and campus is up and running. Of those students, the Global Citizenship Project participants returned Monday. Their experiences explored the lives and cultures of those in Chile, Mali, Romania, Jordan, and Vietnam.
What I really enjoyed the most were the people. Was really getting to interact with people from a different culture, especially when I got to meet some of the musicians and play some ngoni with them, listen to the native instruments from the areas. It's a whole lot of fun, and I really enjoyed seeing Dogon country. Some of the more rural areas of Mali were really beautiful.
For a more in-depth look into these adventures, these participants will be holding a roundtable discussion on Creative Scholarship Day, March 25th. It's opening night this weekend on the SU campus. The Shenandoah Conservatory Theater for Youth production of Go Doll Go opens to the public this Saturday. Based on the beloved children's book by P.D. Eastman, Go Doll Go is a fast-moving, colorful depiction of the exciting life of a dog. The show runs through 2 weekends and tickets can be purchased at the SU box office. It's that time of year again. The Winchester community is in preparation for the 82nd Apple Blossom Festival, and they are in need of your help. In order to make this the best year, volunteers are always needed. For more information on how you can join the Apple Blossom team, we go now to Zandra Brown.
The 82nd Shenandoah Apple Blossom Festival will be a 10-day, 40-event celebration from April 24th through May 3rd. This enormous time for the Shenandoah Valley can only be accomplished by having more than 2,000 volunteers. Saturday, the organizers had a volunteer fair at the Winchester Academy to look for more volunteers. About 20 more volunteers signed up to help. Elaine Akins, president of this year's Apple Blossom Festival, said, "Without volunteers, there wouldn't be Apple Blossom."
The only paid staff that we have are those that are in our office, and the entire festival is put on by our volunteers here in our community.
To volunteer with the Shenandoah Apple Blossom Festival, go to thebloom.com or call 540-662-3863. For SUTV News, I'm Zandra Brown.
Thanks, Zandra. In other news, local schools are getting a hard hit this spring. Local, state, and federal budget cuts are forcing schools to pinch more pennies than anticipated. With less revenue coming in from local government, the school board is working hard to try and handle the $1.5 million reduction without impacting the students' education. A breakdown of spending was devised to use the remaining $2.5 million to best benefit local schools.
I'm hoping that we go with the scenario that I presented. I think it preserves programs, preserves people and salaries, and by doing that, it keeps our school system moving along. It's using basically stimulus dollars out of the three areas, through the General Assembly, through Title I and Title 6, which is special ed dollars, using those plus some additional attrition, staff leaving that we don't fill the positions.
Salaries and extra days are among the cuts that may begin occurring within the Winchester Public Schools. A final draft of the proposed deficit changes is said to be due April 6th. And now for a look at your local sports, we go now to Kelly Mitchell.
This week, John Hanley High School spring sports are underway. Girls and boys varsity soccer teams dropped one game to Brentsville and picked up a win against James Wood. Girls varsity softball won their game against Brentsville and James Wood. Hanley baseball won against Brentsville and lost to James Wood. All the judges' sports teams will be playing Spotswood, Central, and Shenandoah this week. Girls softball will also be playing Clark County. Over at Shenandoah University, the men's baseball teams are back on track, beating Roanoke 13-1 and Franklin and Marshall 32-5. They will be playing Virginia Wesleyan and Christopher Newport this week. Women's softball team finished out their tournament down in Kissimmee, Florida, with 8 wins and 4 losses. They will be playing Bridgewater, NC Wesleyan, and Christopher Newport this week. Men's lacrosse teams played host this past week to Guilford and Oberlin. They lost to Guilford 10-11 and beat Oberlin in overtime 9-8. They will be playing on the road this week. Women's lacrosse teams played host this past week against Methodist, in which they lost 12-17. They will play Centenary and Wesleyan this week. Shenandoah track and field teams will be traveling down to Roanoke this weekend for for their second outdoor meet of the season. That's it for this week. Join me next week to see what's happening in Winchester sports. I'm Kelly Mitchell, SUTV News.
Thank you, Kelly. And thank you for joining us. For SUTV News, I'm Stephen Stroh-Snyder.